Hey guys, how's it going? We are back with another Foodplot video since you guys don't like these very much, but it's just the only content I can really produce right now. We're planting fall plots. We got the old Great Plains. What we're doing today is the Buffalo Fall mix. It's from Eagle Seed. Love it. Used it. I think this is our second or third year using it. It's not very cheap, but you get a lot of seed for what you pay for. You know, they do like 80 pounds per acre, anywhere from like 60 to 80 pounds when you drill, and then like 100 pounds if you're just going to broadcast it. Of course, we're drilling it. But I love it, and that's the stuff that comes up lush and green in the fall. You got your clover, you got your brassicas, you got your grains, cereal grains, and then in the spring, so all winter long, and then obviously the brassicas die off in the winter time or whatever, and they go right back into the soil. And then in the springtime, those rye and the wheat just shoot up. Rye is supposed to get real tall. This year only got about this tall, but it was a bad spring. So hopefully next spring gets above 7-8 feet tall. And then of course we go through with the Goliath crimper, which is right there. Crimp down the wheat, plant our beans right through that. So this is another video of the Buffalo system. Our beans are doing awesome, fantastic. The 2 food plots I'm probably going to show you guys today, or at least one. I might do 2. I don't know. They're looking great. I mean, our beans are like chest high to waist to chest high everywhere, even in like places where you'd never think they would be that good. Never put fertilizer in any of the beans you're going to see in this video, or any of our food plots for that matter. It's all just been rotational crops. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to load up the hopper and see you guys in the field. Alright guys, we made it to the field. I've done like 4 passes around it just to make sure everything was running right and stuff, and it seems to be going good. But as you can see, these beans are tall. I mean, I'm 6'4", and they're about up to my nipple when I pull them up. So, beautiful soybeans. It's like a 3-acre field, goes all the way back down there. And I just want to show you guys how just impressive these beans are. Hold on, let me get out of them a little bit. Get to where I trample them down some. Alright. But I mean, as you can see on the tractor, I mean, they're tall. They're as tall as the back tire. So here we are. Here's the drill. Here's the process. Nothing really special. I know it looks bad, and people took me a while to be comfortable with doing this system. So if you're hesitant, I don't blame you, because as you can see, this is where I've already planted. Hopefully you guys can show this. It is trampled. I'll give you guys a little closer look right here. So I know what you guys are probably thinking. Why on earth would you ever want to kill all these soybeans? Deer love soybeans, blah, blah, blah. You say how much it's their favorite food and stuff, which it is. I mean, in my opinion, you really can't beat soybeans up until about the 1st of October, and then from like all of summer to October, and then, I don't know, again, December, whenever you get real cold weather, snow especially, they love the pods. They'll come back for them. But as you see, I don't kill them all. So it's almost like just taking thinning shears and just thinning them. You can see all these right here have already ran over, and these will all come back up. Some spots are worse than others. Like right here, there's none. But even a lot of these ones that are laid down, you'd be surprised. They'll stand right back up. All right, guys, I put you up on the tractor. I forgot the tripod, but it's no big deal. So anyway, yeah, why would you want to kill all these beans? Blah blah blah. I would say, when beans are, from waist high, chest high, you probably kill about 50% of them. If they're knee high to waist high, you probably only kill 30% of them. The taller you get, the little more stalker they get, and they break a little easier. They're not as spongy or bouncy. But there's so many benefits to this. So if I didn't do anything, yeah, these beans would be great. Deer would be hammering them all summer, all into early hunting season. Muzzleloader season, this field's going to be on fire. Even with these beans, since they're eagle, they're forage beans. They'll eat these leaves up until mid to late October, when all the other farmers' beans are all dead, if not even already harvested. These beans will still have green leaves on them. They'll still be eating them, which is just another amazing thing. These beans are they're just flowering. These are all 2W. You'll see these little All those little purple flowers, that's where your pods are going to come. These, like most of the other farmers' beans, have already started their pods. They don't have seeds yet, but the pods have started. You gotta realize the Eagle Seed beans are about a month behind because they live about a month earlier. So farmers' beans are done growing. They got the pods. They're putting all the energy to seeds, and in like a couple weeks, their seeds will be done, and then the plant will be done. Then it's just drying and completely mature. Then it gets harvested. These have at least another month of actual. They have a couple more weeks of growing taller and bushier, and then they'll have a couple weeks of producing the pods and the seeds and stuff. So these still will. If you look around, you won't see any. Every once in a while, you'll see a plant that's already started producing pods, but the vast majority haven't yet. But that's no problem. They will. But especially in smaller food plots, say under 3 acres, even if you have a great looking food plot and a bunch of beans and a bunch of pods, if you have a lot of deer in your area, those pods aren't gonna last all winter long. Usually, they might last to January, maybe, usually they'll probably last into about January, at least around here. That's about where they did. And the deer just picked them off anyway. The deer, the turkeys, the raccoons, everything eats the soybeans. So then you just have, from February and March, which are still months where you want to have good forage, then you just have a big wasteland. There's no pods left, there's no beans left, there's nothing they're eating, it's just a big dirt field. By coming in here and drilling in a cover crop, that provides greenery from whenever we get rain. So say a week from now, this stuff will probably start sprouting. And this stuff has, rye and wheat, it's got buckwheat, it's got 3 different kinds of bulbs, rape, purple head turnips. There's a third one I'll probably put on the screen here. There's a third one somewhere, or there's a third one, and clover. So all that stuff is going to come up, and the majority of that stuff is going to stay green and growing all winter long, And then that's just for pure deer attractant reasons. For soil reasons, it's great. So now when these soybeans die, it's just like I said, it's going to be a dirt field. But now you'll always have something growing. So when those beans die off, right up through those dead beans, you'll have your beautiful lush winter crops that keep the soil working, doesn't shut the soil down. And then not to mention in the springtime when the wheat will get about waist tall or whatever, and then your rye you want it about this tall. That's just providing so much cover. You won't have erosion. It keeps the ecosystem in the soil working, nutrients in the soil. So all of these, all right, let's see. All of those little bulbs, like there and there, those little bubbles you're seeing, all those little bubbles are nitrogen. It's excess nitrogen the beans either produce themselves or don't pull it from, or that produce that don't need. So that's all those little bubbles, if you ever pull up a soybean plant, is all just extra nitrogen that the soybeans aren't going to use. And some of the biggest things about this mix that I'm using is the turnips and the bulbs and the rape and all that kind of stuff. And they crave nitrogen. So there's so much there's so much free nitrogen in this food plot that you wouldn't even have to put fertilizer on it anyway. Not to mention the dead soybeans will break down and provide other nutrients for the plant. So all in all, it's a great system. They call it the Buffalo system. Alright guys, we're about 2 weeks after I planted this field. 2 weeks after the first rain since I planted the field. And it looks really good. We'll show you close-ups here in a second, but if you look down in this row, you'll see all of this stuff right here is all what I planted. It's up through here. On some of the thicker parts, it's all still there, but it's harder to show you guys. We'll get some close-ups here in a minute. But another big thing I'm noticing in a lot of these standing beans that came back up, like if you look across the whole field, you can definitely tell the field's been thinned, as I would say, from running them over. But there's still plenty of beans in here, and a lot of the beans that did survive are starting to put on a load of pods. Now remember, these beans are about a month behind, like your regular farmer's beans, because they're a forage bean, not a crop bean. So they're designed to last as long as they can, which in this part of the country, it's about mid-October. They won't lose their leaves till about mid to late October, which is about a month longer than farmer's beans. The farmer's beans around here are actually starting to already yellow up. And if you can tell, these beans are all as lush and green as can be, still putting on pods. So the farmer's beans have already got their pods and beans in pods. These are just the pods. Now you can just feel the little bit of beans starting to form. But the next couple weeks, they'll all be basically fully mature. So yeah, guys, that's about it. We're going to shoot over to another food plot that we're working on. Alright guys, we're here in another food plot. It's actually later in the year from when we had him planting with the other videos. It's like September 12th, I think now. Happy birthday, Madeline. It's Madeline's birthday today, my sister. Anyway, we're in one of these food plots. I don't think you guys have seen this one at all yet. This spring I planted, my first time using this mix. It's actually a soybean, cowpea, buckwheat, and sunflower mix. I was actually just looking around, and I'll show you guys. I've seen good examples of all of the species. All right, here's buckwheat and then sunflowers right here. So the sunflower and buckwheat have been mature now for almost over a month. So there's really not very many sunflower seeds left in these heads. There are a couple. Well, the doves and stuff have ate them. See that? So these were all full about a month ago. So there's those. Same thing with the buckwheat. You can still see those are all the little buckwheat seeds right there. But they've been pretty much picked clean as well. The soybeans, though, they're just maturing. You can see those pods. They're all putting on pods, and there are little beans inside the pods, but they're definitely not fully developed by any means. There's that. Good thing, I think I've done this in other videos, but I'll show you guys again. Whenever you pull your soybean plants out, if you look and you see those, can you see those bubbles? Yeah. All those little bubbles right there. Those are all nitrogen that the beans were more than the beans needed. So there's just extra nitrogen in the soil, which brings me to what we'll be doing in a minute with that, but I want to show you that last. Here we go. And this is the cowpeas. And these, when I was here a couple weeks ago, there was just a few. I really had to look to find these, but now I see them all over the place. So they really matured in the last couple of weeks. Oop. And the deer, you can see the deer have been hitting these pretty hard too. But anyway, here's what those look like. These look like a little bit bigger soybean. Anyway, guys, it's about a 1 acre food plot. This is like the second year we've done stuff with, and it's actually looking really good. I sprayed it before I planted it back in like April, and since then I couldn't spray because I would have killed the other stuff that's not beans. But it looks really good. Beans are probably anywhere from knee to waist high on me, which for a smaller plot that's not bad. And yeah, got the tractor here with the NoTill Drill. We're gonna get some footage of that because you can get the drone up in the air, and I'll catch you guys when it's done.